Rundown.
From the United States now to Sydney, Australia. Very good morning to you, evening, afternoon, Dave. I can't get that right. Davis, good morning, evening.
Morning, David and Renee.
Good morning, how are you?
As usual. I'm very well. Yourselves?
Yeah, very good indeed. Getting very excited about spring, which is round the corner, and the coronation, and Eurovision. Lots going on.
Oh, yes.
And so tell us, no doubt you have some exciting tech for us.
Yes, we definitely do. Where should we begin? There's so much tech. How about we start with the new phone release? Does that sound good?
It does indeed. Now, I happen to know this is the Apple iPhone 14, isn't it?
Yes. So Mobile World Congress, as we know, is over. So a lot of the major phone launches, unfortunately, did happen last week. But don't worry, because Apple has released the iPhone 14. In yellow.
Right.
Yep, it is literally just a new iPhone color. It really is slow news week in tech, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would I want a banana phone?
Well, I don't know, but Apple usually releases a new color on their iPhones about halfway through the model life cycle. It's a little bit earlier this year. We don't really know why, but they've done yellow a few times before. Last year it was green. That was my favorite one. But, yellow's pretty snazzy, right?
Amazing.
I'll ask Renee, would you buy a yellow phone?
No.
No.
But then I'm still on, my model's about 20 versions earlier.
But this is the same iPhone 14. There's no increased spec on this.
Yeah, literally the same phone. It's just yellow. They've released some new case colors as well, including yellow. So it's an exciting release by this week's standards.
She's so rude. She just went next. So I don't think you've sold. I don't think you've sold that one to us. So okay, let's move on from
50.
the Apple's iPhone 14 in banana yellow, shall we? And let's move to Spotify. Now I do like a bit of Spotify.
And Davis likes a bit of Spotify.
Davis does.
I do like Spotify.
Yeah. Go for it.
So what Spotify basically have done this week is that they've totally redesigned their interface to introduce something that's a little bit like TikTok. So as we all know, Spotify is a massive company, but they've never really turned a profit. So they're constantly trying to do anything to make a bit of money, including podcasts, audiobooks, and stuff like that. So what they're doing now, essentially, is just introducing a TikTok-style algorithm with also some video content like Netflix, full of, in a scrolling feed full of recommendations. Is this going to work? I don't really know, because Spotify is a very different animal to TikTok. But if they think that they can sell some more ad space, then all the power is in their court, I guess.
Right.
But they're also introducing an AI DJ feature, which is slightly more exciting. So it's basically a fake radio announcer that introduces your songs, and it's quite popular already for those users who've received it in Northern America.
So hang on a minute. So if I ask Spotify to play whatever, I now have a DJ that introduces the song that I've just already asked for.
Yes, essentially. So you instead of having just a straight playlist with no words between the songs, which is so boring, you can now have your own personalized radio
boring to
station.
listen to the actual music.
You want a conversation.
So basically, if you then compile a Spotify playlist, say, then this AI bot then introduces every single track.
Yes, that is the idea. You've got it.
Renee, one for you?
Yep, no, move next.
So who is this aimed at? So that's a really good point though, Davis. Who is this aimed at? Because it's obviously not for old people like Renee.
Maybe not. I think the interface change is very much aimed at sort of attracting that younger TikTok audience. But this DJ feature is just trying to keep people within the Spotify ecosystem, because there's so many people moving over to Apple Music and YouTube Music and alternatives like that right now. And speaking of Apple Music, should we talk about that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, so we've had tons of Spotify music this week, but Apple is not resting on its laurels, because they're releasing something called Apple Music Classical, which is an app that's made specifically for classical music lovers. Are we all fans of classical music?
Yes,
amazing.
Yes.
Yes, well, this might be the platform to you. Might be time to switch, because on the 28th of March, they're launching an app that's dedicated for classical music lovers. So it includes deeper search. You've got more composer metadata. You've got spatial audio. So it actually feels like you're in the concert space. You've got hundreds of playlists, thousands of exclusive albums, and lossless audio. And it's all, a dream come true, basically, for a lot of classical music lovers.
So could you not, I'm sorry to be stupid about this. Could you not get classical music on it before then?
We can get it on Spotify.
Yes, you could have classical music on both Spotify and Apple Music, but this is a whole app dedicated for your classical listening experience. So you get the bios of all your favorite artists. You can see, who's in this particular orchestra, stuff like that. It's just a lot more in depth.
How very interesting. Okay, and do you think that will take off?
Personally, it's probably not within my age range, but they might be appealing to someone with taste here. So maybe.
The classical music market is absolutely huge, and they're one of the few musician areas that still make money.
They do. I wonder also if you then, because often you might know a classical music track, but you don't know anything else that you might like in that genre, and maybe if it starts suggesting stuff. Also, when you reach our age, classical music is actually quite nice because you can actually decompress.
And restore your energy.
And restore your energy, because I needed it this morning.
Can't wait to be your age then.
Oh, thanks so much. Right, let's get rid of you. Apparently the world is running out of floppy disks.
Yes, from the aeronautic industry to the medical world and even nuclear codes. Many industries are still relying on this technology, but the problem is that they're actually running out. Wired magazine wrote a report this week. So basically, the last manufacturer making floppy disks stopped production in 2010, and since then the world has been running out of them.
I've got
things
loads
are really
in my
getting
loft.
serious
Shall
now.
I get them?
Yeah, you should.
I think they're worth a lot of money now because, for example, a company called GeoSky, they do cargo planes. They still need floppy disks to update their 36-year-old 747s, and then other planes like the A320 Airbus need floppy disks as well, and many other industries like embroidery, CNC companies, and a lot of industrial applications. And so the problem is no one really knows how many there are left because there aren't warehouses with 500,000 of them in stock. It's more like, Rene, you've got 10 in your loft. David, you might have 5
I have
in your
some
loft.
floppy
They're all,
disks.
scattered around. So I guess if you are relying on floppy disks still, it might be time to upgrade.
I can't say I rely on my floppy disks. They are somewhere in the attic.
Hence they're in the loft.
Yeah, exactly. But so that's really interesting, actually. I mean, it shows how much technology's moved on there, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Yeah, extraordinary.
Yeah, but
And
we
maybe
don't think it
there's a
will
business
totally die
opportunity.
out.
And what, sorry?
We don't think they'll totally die out because obviously older media forms do tend to, continue, like, records made a comeback. But I'm not sure if floppy disks will do that.
No, maybe not. Also, by the way, I just recorded a show about vinyl because, of course, vinyl is coming back.
I have
It's extraordinary.
300 12-inch singles in my loft.
Oh my
I've
god.
got 1,000 7-inch singles, and I did an interview with Steve Denyer. You can hear it on Virgin Radio in, I think, next month. But anyway, and then, Davis, your final story, scammers. This is a really, really concerning story, I think.
Yeah, this one is quite concerning because DeepFake Voices of family members are being used to scam relatives out of thousands of pounds, and the problem is just beginning. So the Washington Post this week reported that scammers are using AI deepfake voices to sound like family members to deprive their victims. In this particular example, a woman called Ruth received a phone call from someone who sounded just like her grandson, saying that they were in jail with no cash and no phone and just really needed her to pull him out of bail. But unfortunately, she went to a bank, got out all the money that she had, went to another bank because she'd reached her limit, and then was pulled aside by a bank manager telling her there had been plenty of people like her being scammed in that very way. And that person on the other side of the phone probably wasn't their grandson. Rather, it wasn't anyone at all because it was AI. It was artificial intelligence. And this problem's just getting worse and worse.
So,
Hang on, Davis, just for a second. Renee.
So I have a personal story on this.
What?
This kind of happened to me. So I was being scammed
God.
last summer for my bank, my business bank, and I got wind of it and knew it happened, and I did actually get £3,000 taken out of my account. However, they then tried me again about a month later with exactly the same thing, and I recognised the call. And I said to the lady who was speaking to me very nicely in a very lovely Scottish accent, I know what you're doing. How do you guys sleep at night? The voice changed to a man, it was never a lady, who said, I sleep fine and I know where you live.
Oh,
now,
my goodness.
so they're
my
using
God.
people and they're just overlaying those voices with technology to be soft and gentle women when they're actually men.
Oh, David, so obviously something to look out for and to be on the hunt for there. David, it's always a pleasure. By the way, just before you go, I've just got a message from Austin John James saying, utterly brilliant show as always. Both doctors are awesome and the level of discussion between you both is addictive. I also love the segment with Davis Fang. He is such a happy, great guy and full of information, humour and energy.
He is.
So there you
Oh,
are.
bless. Thank you very much.
Really good to see you. That is, of course, Davis Fang, our tech presenter, and that was Tech Rundown. After the break, we'll take your calls, your thoughts.